This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us on this Monday. Glad to have you with us. I'm Jacqueline Matter.
I'm Ray Collins. 5 o'clock, May 15th, and a few sprinkles this weekend.
I know, we needed it. We certainly did.
We did. Some bad seed in Northport. More on that next, but first, let's get to that forecast. Good morning, John Scalzi.
Good morning to you guys. You have a good weekend?
Very nice.
Very nice weekend.
Great. Glad to hear it. Yes, we got a little bit of rainfall around over the weekend. Obviously, not enough to do too much in terms of the drought that's ongoing across central Florida. Taking a look at some of the fire weather aspects coming up this afternoon, obviously, we still have some bad conditions across the area in terms of the fire danger index. It's still in the high category over most of the area, and in Manatee County in the very high category. However, I will say that because of an increase in moisture that is forecast this afternoon and over the next several days, we have a slightly better chance of seeing some improved fire weather by midweek. That said, there will be periods this afternoon of pretty low relative humidity. Plus, the winds, though light, will probably surge again this afternoon as the sea breeze begins to develop. A couple of things you'll look at in terms of fire weather are transport winds, where the fire is likely to blow. And that's going to be kind of variable over the afternoon as the sea breeze builds, as the general winds begin to shift because of a ridge of high pressure that sits over us that's going to kind of suppress our rainfall chances again today. We'll talk about that, talk about the likelihood of getting some much needed rain coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you guys.
Talk to you soon. Thank you, John. All smooth right now in Manatee County. No traffic issues at this point in the day. Farther south now into Sarasota County. A couple slowdowns on Bee Ridge. Nothing yet at this point, though. And farther south on the South County map, we'll see nothing to report at this hour at 5:02 on your Monday morning.
Our top story this morning, a brush fire on the Suncoast like we haven't seen since the 90s.
Yeah, the so-called rain tree fire has been burning in Northport since Saturday, and now crews are in the mop-up phase. Erica Jackson introduces us to a woman who was one of the first to report it.
It was an inferno. I mean, the fire had become much larger within 5 minutes.
Connie Kending was driving along Price Boulevard Saturday afternoon when she saw 6-foot flames coming from a small tree off a nearby cul-de-sac. She called 911, but the fire already spread 1/4 of an acre by the time fire rescue arrived. Florida Forestry Service blames the high winds over the weekend for the fire's quick movement.
In any direction, it would have changed. It would have put lives and homes in danger.
If you go back in the burn area right now, it's complete burns. We got complete white ash.
Dozens of crew members putting in around-the-clock effort, some coming from as far as South Carolina, with limited visibility from heavy smoke and uncooperative weather conditions.
There were a couple times where our units had to bail out of where they were at and get to their safe zones, but we did not have any injuries.
Florida Forestry Service tells us it hasn't seen a fire this big in Sarasota County in almost 2 decades, and now some are arriving to the area to see the damage.
Not only could we not get to the property, but the land was actually part of what was affected by the fire.
Boston resident Martha Shea is visiting her Northport property for the first time since inheriting it from her father. She didn't know about the fire spreading through Sarasota and DeSoto counties until she was blocked off from driving on Raintree Boulevard Sunday.
And it would have been nice to
share it with me.
Yeah, and step with my best friends here with me and be able to step foot on the property.
Fire officials say the effects of this wildfire will likely linger unless Mother Nature answers prayers sooner.
Once we gain 100% containment, it'll be weeks before this is controlled and 100% out. It'll probably be until we have a really heavy rain.
Firefighters will continue to focus on widening the fire lane and hope that can keep it from spreading outside of its current borders. Reporting in Northport, Erica Jackson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you so much, Erica. Now, we should be getting a morning update on this fire, so we will keep you updated throughout Good Morning Suncoast and on our noon show when we receive the latest information. Now, when big stories like this happen, we'll send out a push notification to let you know. You can get those by downloading the My Suncoast app in the Apple or Google Play Store, and make sure you have push notifications that are enabled. Firefighters are hoping for rain to help with their efforts, but they got the next best thing on Sunday afternoon. Look at this, hundreds of bottles of water, courtesy of Cub Scout Pack 157 in Lowe's of Northport. Those community members stepped up to help those keeping their homes and families safe during this fire crisis. Congrats to them and way to go to all of them. Happening today, opening arguments are set to begin in the triple murder trial of Andres Avalos in Manatee County. Jury selection wrapped up last week after over 150 people were summoned as potential jurors. The jury is made up of 10 men and 4 women. Avalos is charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder in the deaths of his wife Amber, his neighbor Denise Potter, and Reverend James Tripp Battle. If convicted, Avalos could face the death penalty.
A follow-up now on Sarasota's 3rd annual seagrass survey. Scientists and citizen volunteers were asked to analyze the grasses in Sarasota Bay. They took photos and used a new app on their phones to do the work. The results are in now, showing the most common species of seagrasses right now is turtle grass, followed by manatee grass and shoal grass. The majority of the bay only had a 30% of drift algae, which is good news since drift algae colonies can cause hurt seagrass beds. Seagrasses on Sarasota Bay have been expanding since 1990. A scare on a Florida beach this past weekend. Police say a county pickup truck rolled over 3 people lying on the sand. And police said the driver told them he didn't see them before his F-150 truck rolled over the sunbathers. No charges have been filed against the man. The people on the sand were not seriously injured.
A reminder to look out for pedestrians when you are driving to work this morning. A pedestrian was hit by a car near the North Bridge to Siesta Key over the weekend. It happened very early on Sunday morning, just about after midnight on Siesta Drive. Police say the pedestrian was hurt, but wouldn't say how seriously. A black Ford pickup truck was at the scene. Police say the driver was cooperative. Also, a heads up for those driving in Bradenton this morning. The intersection of 27th Street East and 38th Avenue East is now a fully active roundabout. It's all part of the city's extension project. The new curve in the road is one of 2 roundabouts planned to boost traffic flow. Coming up next, 30th Street East and 38th Avenue East, less than a quarter mile away.
Well, proof this morning that construction work on roads can get done early. The morning commute in Atlanta is much smoother today because I-85 is open again. About 6 weeks ago, you recall, Atlanta traffic was crippled by a fire and a collapse of the interstate overpass. For an already traffic-clogged area, it was critical to get this road fixed as soon as possible. The initial completion date was set for June 15th, but by this past Saturday, all lanes were reopened.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you for the Atlanta workers. Thank you. They worked faster than we thought. We were amazed. They finished so fast.
Prosecutors indicted a man for allegedly causing the bridge fire. He faces a possible 25 years behind bars.
What's interesting about that is that they got a $3.5 million incentive to get that finished as soon as possible before that June 15th date.
Oh, look at that cause.
Yeah.
What do you know?
Exactly.
Oh, they can do it. 5:08 now. Another big story here across the world. Companies are preparing for more fallout from one of the most massive cyber attacks ever. In fact, on Friday, we got a first glimpse of the ransomware attacks.
Now, this is when a person is locked out of their computer and can't get control until they pay a ransom. More than 150 countries have been hit by this ransomware attack. Here's CNN's Claire Sebastian with a look at just how severe it really is.
A live threat. That is how the European Union law enforcement agency Europol described the state of the global ransomware attack Sunday. The infection rate had slowed on Friday and Saturday after a researcher in the UK accidentally discovered a way to stop it spreading. But according to Europol, that was only a temporary fix.
The cybercriminals already responded to that and issued a variant of the threat that gets beyond that. So the numbers are rising again.
It's clear we still don't know the full extent of this. Britain's cybersecurity authority has also warned that more damage could come to light Monday morning as people return to work, and that new cases of ransomware may be reported in the coming days. And meanwhile, Microsoft, whose Windows operating system was breached, says governments of the world should treat this as a wake-up call. In a blog post, the company's president says that the fact that this attack used a cyber tool believed to have been stolen from the US National Security Agency shows that the rules governing cyberspace need to change. He writes, "We need governments to consider the damage to civilians that comes from hoarding these vulnerabilities and the use of these exploits. This is one reason we called in February for a new Digital Geneva Convention to govern these issues, including a new requirement for governments to report vulnerabilities to vendors rather than stockpile, sell, or exploit them." Meanwhile, the message to consumers: update your systems and back up your data. Claire Sebastian, CNN, New York.
Now, a warning for those looking for a new puppy. Scammers are targeting you. Tatiana Best in Oregon says she found photos of a teacup Maltese puppy online and began texting with someone claiming to be the dog's owner. The seller even sent her a video assuring Best that the puppy would be shipped to her the next day. But when the $750 transfer went through, there was no puppy and the website was taken down.
I felt so silly. They simply took my money.
We've seen people lose up to $2,000, $2,500 for a puppy that doesn't even exist.
According to the Ohio Attorney General, the same scam is happening in Florida and more than a dozen other states. To avoid falling victim, experts say never purchase a pet without seeing it in person first, and never pay by wire transfer or money order as well. Well, this coming Sunday, Ringling Brothers has their final show in New York City, but the name will remain alive and well here on the Suncoast. John Ringling's influence goes far beyond the art museum and his home as well. He developed what would be St. Armand's Circle and the bridge that connects the Bayfront to Lido Key. He also brought his circus here in 1927, and that heritage continues today. The Circus Arts Conservatory brings us circus each year and oversees the greatest little show on earth, the Sailor Circus. Organizers say the demise of the Ringling Circus will have no impact here.
Ringling closing sort of identifies the change in circus. People are less just spectators and more engaging. And for the youth specifically, circus arts is a great meld of athletics and performing arts.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 5, Scott Dennis will explore the century-old Ringling presence in Sarasota and the legacy his circus is leaving behind. Looking forward to that. The name Ringling is everywhere in town. You know?
Totally is.
Sure is.
Dry cleaners.
I have a feeling that Ringling brand circus won't be gone forever.
Yeah?
I just have that feeling. Somebody will bring it back somewhere, somehow, in some form, sometime in the future.
There are still lots of circuses out there, though, you know.
There are. There are. Yeah. There are. Mostly the smaller circus, the one-ring circus, the kind of European-style circuses, which are great.
More in Europe, you're right.
They're fun.
Yeah.
We have across our region today some changing weather, ready to turn up the heat.
Oh, well, it's here.
Yeah, I ain't seen nothing yet. Wait till midweek. Oh,
great.
Yeah, ACs will be cranking. We'll talk about the forecast in a second.
All right, thanks, John. Still ahead, we're still celebrating moms this morning. We'll take you to some of the most popular events for Mother's Day right here on the Suncoast.
And later in the hour, a beach party with a purpose. Stay with us.
Introducing the all-new Alfa Romeo Giulia, a performance masterpiece. Race-inspired handling and lightning-fast response times take your drive to the next level. Find yours at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
For years, I told everyone my Craftmatic adjustable bed was the greatest until I got the new Craftmatic Legacy. It has an adjustable pillow feature that's awesome. You're gonna want one too when you see how little they cost.
If you've ever had a bad night's sleep, call and price the new Craftmatic Legacy. It has so much more than other adjustables and still costs up to 50% less, featuring a rising adjustable pillow rest, bedside power plugs, underbed night lights, and more. Available in all mattress types with optional heat and soothing massage for as much as half the price of Tempur-Pedic, Sleep Number, and other adjustables. Enjoy temporary relief of low back pain, nighttime heartburn, mild arthritis. Adjust the rising pillow feature to help align your head, neck, and shoulders. See for yourself with our 30-day in-home trial. So call and price one today for less, up to 50% less.
You get so much more and it still costs less. You gotta see how little they cost.
Call 1-800-237-0214. That's 1-800-237-0214. Call 1-800-237-0214. Call now.
It's no small wonder anybody loves it all.
I just love art that moves me.
No small,
I mean, really moves me.
Wonder.
Sunset Fiat of Sarasota presents No Small Wonder. High performance style. Let the art of Fiat move you.
When you want to get away from it all, to a place where you can do everything, or nothing at all, surrounded by natural beauty and all the modern amenities you might desire, then you'll want to be here at the Wanna Be Inn on the beautiful shores of Manasota Key, Florida. To plan your escape, log on to wannabeinn.com.
Giulia from Alfa Romeo. appearance, performance, power. Find yours at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
So across the region this morning, we are looking at conditions that are on the warm side compared to where we were 24 hours ago. 73 degrees. The current air temperature feels a little bit more humid out there, and that's because of that number right there. Dew point value coming in at 67 degrees. Yeah. Well, it's kind of a double-edged sword, you know. You need the extra little bit of humidity to help with the firefighting issues, but on the other hand, it's going to feel a lot more humid in the afternoons. Today, you know, not so bad. We'll see those dew points high, but still our temperature's warm enough and the dew points still in the 60s that I think we'll probably see a couple of hours this afternoon of fairly low humidity around, but still, it's going to be warm. 73 degrees the air temperature, clear skies out there. North-northeast wind will be variable today. A little bit variable because we have a big ridge of high pressure that's going to be moving across the northern part of the state, and that's going to allow our winds to shift first northeast, then a little bit more easterly, then northwesterly as we head into the afternoon. 68 degrees, Wauchula, 70, Arcadia, 69, Mayaca, Parrish, Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch at 70, Northport comes in at 71, and then down the coastline, close to the coast, a little bit on the warmer side with 73 in Longboat Key, 72 in Venice, and 71 in Inglewood. We have a kind of a draped frontal boundary located to the north that'll be the location for the potential of some severe weather, and as that front sinks southward today, could trigger off some showers and maybe a thunderstorm or two from Texas on up to the western Great Lakes. But for us, everything is driven by that ridge of high pressure that sits right over the deep south. Twisting our winds out of the northeast, we'll have enough heat today to generate that sea breeze close to the coastline, and we'll watch for that to develop right along the immediate coast. Warmer today than we've seen over the last several days, but it gets even warmer as we head into midweek period. Light winds around and slowly increasing humidity coming up from the south. We'll see those dew points rise as we head into midweek. Lack of cloud cover will allow for plenty of heating, and as that high builds in, the kind of compressional effect of that sinking dome of air will allow our temperatures to continue to rise. By midweek, I think some places in interior section of the peninsula of the state will see temperatures that'll be in the mid-90s. Too soon, too soon. Titan radar shows those scattered showers that are down in the very southern tip of the state along the stalled boundary that was that frontal boundary that moved through over the weekend. A very weak front. Didn't really change our temperatures all that much. It did draw down some slightly drier air, though, and that was nice. And the little bit of rainfall that we got, in general, the most we saw was probably around a quarter-inch of rain in some locations. Didn't really do a whole lot to bust the drought, and obviously didn't do a lot to suppress wildfires. Across the region today, as I mentioned, again, back to the west, that's where the best chance of storms will be located. Not so much across the state of Florida. It's going to be pretty quiet, but if you're traveling to, say, the Oklahoma City airport or to Austin or on up into Minneapolis, you may see some rougher weather. Our weather has a lot of dry air aloft in the forecast for the next several days. That means sunny conditions, high evaporation rates. Because that high pressure ridge sits right over us, the transport, the dispersion of smoke may be somewhat reduced just a little bit. So you may smell some smoke in the air down around the Northport area and into areas of Arcadia as well. The general transport of that smoke should be off to the north and to the east today. So Arcadia, watch for that. As far as the rainfall futurecast goes, well, this model I think kind of overdoes it just a little bit, but generally down to the south will be the best place to see some rain showers. A few might pop up along the sea breeze front, but they will be gone pretty quickly in total rainfall amounts. Not all that great this week. Until we get to week's end, when the rain chances might be a little bit improved Saturday and Sunday, as we start to see a little upper level feature kind of swing past the state. Daytime highs, as I mentioned, getting warm by midweek. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you so much, John. Taking a look at traffic this morning, State Road 70 and 301, that intersection really seeing the most congestion in Manatee County. I-75 looking good, and the bridges as you head into downtown Bradenton are looking clear. And Sarasota County pretty quiet throughout that region as well. Fruitville, Bee Ridge, and Clark Road looking good if you're heading throughout that area for your morning commute. And in South County, pretty quiet as well at 521 on this Monday morning.
Well, many of you spent lots of money on Mother's Day.
That's right. It's one of the biggest flower holidays of the year. The National Retail Federation says Americans spent more than $23 billion on Mother's Day gifts, and flowers were on the top of that choice. That is followed by a sweet card, jewelry, and lunch or dinner with mom. Now we wanted to see how people on the Suncoast were spending their Mother's Day.
Our photographer Samantha Chodo shows us some quality mother and daughter time. Watch this.
Why did we come out today?
Because it's Mother's Day.
Mother's Day means family.
She means somebody that's always there for me. What do I mean to you, sweetie pie?
Love.
Love? That's why we came, because we are celebrating love?
Yeah.
Why do you love me?
Because you're the best.
I have the best mother in the world, and just celebrating her, that's all.
She is an amazing mother, so we're obviously here for her.
Thank you. My mom, she means the world to me. My role model, my grandmother too.
She's been there for me for just about every big moment in my life. And, you know, she's getting older, so I wanted to show her I appreciate her.
It's a tradition to come to Selby Gardens for our Mother's Day brunch.
We are here to celebrate Mother's Day and have a little brunch and spend time with family.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's the day's gorgeous out. It's sunny. It's on the bay. It doesn't get any better.
Happy Mother's Day.
And a happy mother to all the mommies out there?
Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day to everybody.
Love that music too along the way.
Oh yes. Did you do anything fun for Mother's Day?
I did. My mother's up in Buffalo, so I didn't see her, but my wife's family is down here. So we went out Saturday night with her daughter, her sister, her mother, and the rest. Party of 9.
Yes. Well, happy Mother's Day to Erin as well.
Did you contact your mother out there?
I did. I got a chance to actually watch the sunset with her on FaceTiming her. So I stayed up a little late past my bedtime to watch the sunset.
Great technology for that.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Well, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, MasterCard is looking to get you through the cashier line faster. We'll have new updates that they're looking to speed up.
And the latest on the dismissal of the FBI chief at 5:32 will tell you what happens next.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Nobody beats Subaru in service, quality, vehicle quality, and overall quality. And ALG named Subaru the 2017 top brand for residual value. Now lease the most fuel-efficient vehicle in its class, a new Subaru Outback for just $229 a month. Or get 0% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
back 5:25 on Monday morning.
Well, a big deal is coming, which could mean more self-driving cars on the roadways.
Diane Macedo and Kenneth Moten have details in this morning's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, a new partnership that's hoping to make self-driving cars a reality.
Lyft is teaming up with Waymo, which is owned by Google's parent company. The companies are revealing very few details about the deal to launch self-driving car pilots. Lyft's key rival Uber has already been working on self-driving technology. MasterCard is working to speed up transactions with its chip cards.
So those transactions can take several seconds, which can feel like minutes if you have a long line behind you. MasterCard figures if it can make the transactions faster, more businesses will adopt the chip card terminals.
Nike has put some soul into some of its iPhone cases.
You can now protect your iPhone 7 with cases that are modeled on the bottoms of some of Nike's iconic sneakers. The price tag, $35.
Pretty cool.
Will the phone case make you run faster?
Maybe.
I don't know if it works that way. Those are your Tech Bites.
Have a great day.
Tech Bites, brought to you by Simparica.
It's wild out there, but now you can let your dogs out. Just protect them with Simparica, the monthly chew that virtually wipes out fleas and ticks. Studies showed that at the end of the month, Simparica killed more ticks in less time than both Frontline and NexGard. Simparica may cause abnormal neurologic signs, such as tremors, unsteadiness, and/or seizures. The most frequently reported adverse reactions were vomiting and diarrhea. So get Simparica for protection that goes on and on.
Just press clean and let Roomba from iRobot help with your everyday messes. Roomba navigates your entire home, cleaning up pet hair and debris for up to 2 hours, which means your floors are always clean. You and Roomba from iRobot, better together.
Sir?
You law?
We've had some complaints of... Is that a fire?
There's your payoff, deputy. Get! Velveeta shells and cheese. There's gold in them there shells.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining. The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC 7. We're here for you.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly 1 in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I'm creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
Drive into Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota and discover big savings during the Drive and Discover event. Come shop the Suncoast's largest selection of Ram trucks. Get maximum cargo space and more comfort with a new Ram Quad Cab for as low as $24,999. Or get more legroom and maximum comfort with a new Ram Crew Cab and save up to $10,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
What Florida city is best known for spaceflight?
Cape Carnival.
Cape Carnival? Close enough. What condiment includes vinegar, molasses, and anchovies?
Westchester sauce?
Close enough. And now, a word from our sponsors.
One off from the Florida Lottery. Now available for pick 2, 3, 4, and 5 games. Miss by one on any or all numbers and still win.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, the search for a new FBI director. The top choice could come sometime this week.
A Singing Legends tour suffers a setback. We'll tell you why Barry Manilow is keeping quiet.
And a canine jumps in front of a bullet to save an officer. We'll tell you how he's recovering.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning. Pretty shot there downtown. The twinkling lights off the distance. That's around the Fruitville and Lemon area. You see that one light flashing in the middle.
Looks exceptionally bright out there this morning. Or is it just me?
It does. It looks like the roads could be damp, but I don't think that's the case. Let's find out and get right to the expert, shall we?
We shall.
All right, let's go to John. Those roads can't be damp right now, can they be?
You know, it reminds me of a gift I got once for Christmas, which was a rock on a string, and it said, and it was an old forecast tool that said, if the rock was wet, predict rain. So,
nice. There you go.
So it was kind of like that. No, there's not much moisture out there to support any kind of dew or dampness like that. There's no fog around the area, but we do have increased humidities, though, and that will add a little bit of a haze to the atmosphere today. Increasing humidities as well as increasing temperatures throughout the day today. Winds will generally be kind of light and variable, which is the light winds are a good thing for firefighters in Northport. We're glad to see that, but there could be a little bit of a surge for a few hours a little later in the afternoon, as we will likely develop a sea breeze because of those light winds. And the sea breeze will be fairly strong, I think, this afternoon. Not much in the way of any kind of big cloud cover masses headed toward us. The clouds you see down in the Florida Straits is the old remnant of that frontal boundary that passed through over the weekend and brought about a quarter inch of rain or less to the areas. This dew point values have risen. That's going to be, I think, the name of the game over the next several days, is that rising dew point. When they're in the 60s, most people would say, you know, it starts to feel a little uncomfortable. When it's in the 70s, it feels tropical. And we're going to see 70-degree dew points before very long. Watch the wind forecast, kind of variable throughout the day, becoming onshore in the afternoon with that little bit of a sea breeze building. Now, over the next several days, we may see those winds increase a little bit as that high builds to our east. Our rain chance, not that high. We'll talk about the forecast coming up in just a few. Back to you guys.
We'll talk more about that Christmas. The guy received a rock on a string. That explains a lot. There's the roads right now. Manatee County, no problem. We'll slow down there in 70 in both directions. Sarasota County, Bee Ridge, what do you know? There's 1,000 barrels out there, and there's a slowdown already. And farther south into Sarasota County, nothing to report at 5:34 on your Monday morning.
Happening this week, a possible replacement for the open top spot in the FBI.
Yeah, the fallout from the top cops firing continues. Andrew Spencer shows us why some call this an attack on U.S. institutions.
The hunt is now underway for a new FBI director. As candidates arrived at the Justice Department for interviews, the president said James Comey's replacement could be named sometime this week.
I would encourage the president to pick somebody we can all rally around, including those who work in the FBI.
On Meet the Press, Republican Senator Lindsey Graham said it's time to clear the air.
But I think it's time to call the FBI director before the country at large and explain what happened to that dinner. You can't be cute about tapes.
The tapes in question, those referenced by the president in a Friday tweet storm when he wrote, James Comey better hope there are no tapes of our conversations before he starts leaking to the press.
We got to make sure that these tapes, if they exist, don't mysteriously disappear.
If, in fact, there are such recordings, I think those recordings will be subpoenaed, and I think they'll probably have to turn them over.
For his part, President Trump declined to answer questions about those reference tapes at a golf course Sunday. There are still weighty questions remaining about the motivation for the firing of Comey and what it means to the ongoing investigation into Russian election influence. Members of Congress are hoping to hear from Comey himself, who visited the theater and posed for a picture with a cast over the weekend.
And we may still hear from the man at the center of the storm. ABC News has learned that James Comey would like to speak publicly. Associates say he's not interested in the publicity, but he would like to answer questions about his record. Lana Zach, ABC News, Washington.
Well, stay with us this week as the search for a new director of the FBI continues.
New this morning, a record number of tourists are coming to the Sunshine State. That's according to Governor Rick Scott. Today, the governor will visit Miami's Jungle Island. He's expected to announce more than 31 million people that visited the state in the first 3 months of 2017. Governor Scott says that growth could be doomed, though, if state legislators don't stop cutting funding to Florida's tourism marketing agency. The cuts are part of the new budget, which may be vetoed by the governor. And speaking of tourism, tourists and locals attended the annual Party on the Pass this weekend. Hundreds showed up to the Big Pass Sandbar on Siesta Key to enjoy live music and fun in the sun while raising awareness for protecting Siesta Key's natural resources. The event was sponsored by Reopen Beach Road, which is pushing to reopen a stretch of Siesta Key's beach road to the public. Last month, a Sarasota County judge ruled against that effort, but supporters say they will continue to fight.
A Florida canine is back home this morning, but came very close to losing his life while protecting other officers.
Jimmy Johnson shows us how this hero dog helped stop a multi-state crime spree.
Flashing lights and crime scene tape filled a parking lot enclosed military trail in Jupiter for hours. Here's where deputies came face to face with 47-year-old Philip O'Shea. The North Carolina man suspected of a robbery at Duggan's Pub and firing shots at deputies that led authorities on a chase in West Palm Beach early Friday morning.
What happened was the bad guy got out of the perimeter before we had set it up and actually had carjacked a woman and stole the car.
Sheriff Rick Bradshaw says deputies eventually tracked O'Shea in the stolen car and attempted to take him into custody. Gunfire was exchanged for the second time today with 3 deputies.
Here is a picture of the firearm. It's a 9mm Sig Sauer. That orange piece up there is a leaf. It's nothing to do with the barrel itself.
O'Shea was shot and killed on scene, but the sheriff says not before he shot a bomb-sniffing and street crimes canine named Casper. Casper served many times protecting President Donald Trump when he visited Palm Beach.
He has a gunshot wound to his side. He took one of the bullets that was meant for one of the canine guys.
O'Shea is no stranger to law enforcement. Most recently, this warrant for robbery issued in his home state. The sheriff is relieved knowing this man, known for robbing businesses to support his drug habit, has come to an end.
Well, Casper is now out of the hospital and should make a full recovery. Well, he writes the songs, but this morning he is simply not singing them.
Barry Manilow is giving his vocal cords a rest. The 73-year-old singer had to cancel 2 concerts because his vocal cords are sprained. He apologized to fans in Los Angeles and Chicago on Facebook. Now, he's on tour for his new album, This Is My Town, Songs of New York.
Well, sad news, actor Powers Booth has passed away. He's the Emmy winner, best known for playing villains in films like Sin City and Tombstone. He also starred in the TV series Deadwood and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He passed away Sunday of natural causes in his sleep at his L.A. home. A private service will be set in Texas. Booth was just 68 years old.
The 8th annual Harvey Milk Festival took over part of downtown Sarasota this weekend. 3 days of live music, speakers, and films dedicated to equality for the LGBTQ community kicked off on Thursday and went through Saturday night. The festival provides a supportive space and honors the life of Harvey Milk, one of the first openly gay Americans elected to public office.
This is Pride. It's all about love and supporting and being involved in the community. You know, it's something that even if you're not a part of the LGBT community, you know, you should be a part of it and be involved and come and join and celebrate and see love firsthand.
Well, events for that have wrapped up on midnight on Saturday. Toys or trouble? You know those popular spinners that are being banned now from schools in the country.
Catherine Larson tells us why one Wisconsin school has a zero-tolerance policy.
A spinner, if you aren't aware, is a popular toy that students can spin.
But there's not a lot of spin happening here in the halls of Albright Elementary.
Students are not to bring spinners to school.
Because Principal David Novy told parents in this letter to keep them home.
They have lights, they have sounds, they have sharp edges.
I think it's really skyrocketed very quickly.
Albright school occupational therapist Jessica Swan worries for her epileptic students.
We just don't know enough about them yet to know if they could trigger a seizure.
And while fidget spinners are billed as a fast way to help kids focus, in Albright they were causing behavioral issues.
Causing more trouble and causing other students to not be able to focus because they were watching students with spinners who thought that it was helping them focus.
When it comes to kids and concentration, educators here at Albright don't want these kids spinning their wheels. They want them hitting the books. Classes are already incorporating new interactive fidget techniques like MIMO, a choreographed calming curriculum.
Programs are really designed to help children to kind of get their neurological system ready for learning.
The district is also buying more core stools to give kids a way to wiggle while they work.
They allow kids to fidget and move.
Because creative new ways to fidget are always coming in.
Parents are understanding and know that we have resources here that can help their kids out.
Am I the last one to hear about these spinners? I didn't know about
I
these.
guess you are, Ray. No, I'm sure some people haven't really heard about them. They're meant to help people who maybe sometimes have attention problems or things like that. But the problem, as she mentioned, is they're causing other kids to become distracted and sometimes even seizures. So.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, well, we're following some top local stories for you here on the Suncoast this morning.
Northport has seen one of the worst fires since the 1990s. Firefighters are on the spot fighting the flames.
And a week-long jury selection for Andres Avalos came to an end. They're now starting with opening statements for his trial.
The Ringling Brothers have their last performance this coming weekend in New York, but many people here on the Suncoast will remember the name for all the landmarks leaving behind here on the Suncoast.
Hurricane season starts in less than 3 weeks, and now is the time to prepare for the worst.
The 2017 Hurricane Expo in Venice this weekend got a lot of people started in that direction. The city of Venice teamed up with the Venice Gondolier to host a number of speakers and vendors. In fact, our own Bob Harrigan was one of the expert speakers. They provided tips on staying safe, available resources, insurance protection, and hurricane aftermath help as well.
We're the type of people that are better off knowing what's going to happen and what to expect than to just wait until it happens and then react. So we're just trying to be a little proactive.
You can learn much more about hurricane safety with the ABC7 special Surviving a Hurricane. Set your DVRs for June 1st, 7 o'clock. I know John Scalzi has a number of stories that you're working on for that special, John?
That's right. Hard to believe it's coming up so soon, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
The special? The special?
Or hurricane season.
Both. It starts on June 1st, and the special is on June 1st.
Right.
So, yeah, it's just right around the corner. So we always tell people in these weeks before the hurricane season starts, it's the time to prepare. You never know if you might get an early season storm, or you don't know that. So, you know, now's the time to prepare. We'll talk about the chances for some much-needed rainfall, which is probably something we'll see before a hurricane, coming up in just a few.
All right, thanks, John. Still ahead, candy going on a diet, and that Snickers could be getting slimmer. Find out why next in your Health Smart.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC filter hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
It's no small wonder anybody loves it all.
I just love art that moves me.
No small,
I mean, really moves me.
wonder.
Sunset Fiat of Sarasota presents No Small Wonder, high performance style. Let the art of Fiat move you.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we're looking at a temperature outside that's coming in warmer than we saw well, for a little while. Certainly not over the weekend. We saw some temperatures that were cooler than this, but 73 degrees, the air temperature outside is kind of a steamy temperature because of the dew point value, which has risen into the upper 60s now. We had that front move through over the weekend and brought us kind of a nicer little relief from the dew point, from the humidity on Sunday. And now the humidity is really kind of back. It's nothing like we'll see over the next couple of days, though, as that humidity continues to rise into the 70s most likely. So the heat is on, the humidity is back, and this week ahead will feel somewhat tropical as we get into midweek, I think. East-northeast wind comes in at about 3. It'll be somewhat light, somewhat variable today as well. We'll watch the wind shifting from east-northeast back to the northwest as the sea breeze begins to build along the coastline. We'll see a breezy kind of day in the afternoon along the coast as well. Now, that may not translate very far inland and as far as breezy winds go, but right along the immediate coast, you'll certainly notice that afternoon surge. 72 in Inglewood, 72 in Venice, 73 at Longboat, Sarasota as well. Northport coming in at 71. Of course, the weather in Northport vitally important because of the ongoing firefighting going on there. Well, today, because of those variable winds, we'll probably see in the upper levels of the atmosphere the kind of mixing layer of the atmosphere where most of the smoke will be pushed and where the general trend for the fire to move will be off to the north and to the east. That'll be the general transport. But at the surface, we'll see a somewhat variable wind. Northeast at first, then shifting a little bit more to the west as we see a sea breeze build in the afternoon, or northwest. So we'll see that the winds kind of shift a little bit. Now, the relative humidity will be relatively small because the winds will be coming in off of the Atlantic over the next several days. So we'll see the dew points rise. That means that we probably won't see red flag warnings up for high fire danger, and the threat for wildfire spread will be slightly reduced over the next several days with those increasing humidities. That's the good news. But we'll still see some afternoon relative humidities that'll be fairly low today and probably tomorrow. That'll be the bad news. The good news is it won't be as low as it was last week or it was yesterday. So improving, slowly improving conditions for the firefighters. High pressure brings us a warmer day today, light winds and increasing humidity. By midweek, I think we'll see some interior temperatures that'll probably be pretty close to the mid-90s. So the heat is definitely on. Rain chances are going to be kind of minimal over the next several days. Maybe an isolated shower along that sea breeze front inland. So hopefully folks in Northport will see a brief passing shower, but nothing very heavy. Maybe as we head into the weekend, we'll get some better chances of that much needed rain. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, John. Taking a look at traffic in Manatee County this morning, State Road 70 as you head towards I-75, looking like it's getting a little bit congested as you pass by 301, as also 301 as you head south. And in Sarasota County, looks like it's pretty clear out there. Not a whole lot of cars on the roadway. I-75 looking good as you head into South County. Pretty quiet throughout that area. A little bit of slowdown as you head towards I-75 on that intersection towards that area.
All right, time for Health Smart. Cutting calories in candy? It's the sweet truth.
Sounds good to me. Candy giant Mars is teaming up with other candy companies to make it all happen. The plan is to package candies in smaller portions and then also label them more clearly. Mars said it will spend $200 million to make sure half of their products have no more than 200 calories by 2022. The company also tapped the partnership for a healthier America to help.
I'll just need more of them now. You know how that works.
Exactly.
If you know a newborn named Emma or Noah, you're not alone. Those are the two most popular baby names right now. Both names have topped the list for the past 3 years. Rounding out the top 5 names for girls, Olivia, Ava, Sophia, Isabella. And for boys, it's Liam, William, Mason, and James. The list of names comes from the Social Security Administration. It's really true, you think about that. Yeah. You've got friends with babies, and half the time they're named Olivia.
Exactly.
Liam.
My name's never on that list.
Oh, Ray was never a popular name.
Exactly.
It's my grandfather and uncle's name. That's how I got it.
Oh, okay. My name was never on those keychains either, you know, with your names on it that everybody tries to look
really?
for.
Jacqueline wasn't?
No, I could never find Jackie.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
And you were named after Jacqueline Kennedy.
I was.
There you go. American Idol coming back this time on ABC.
And now we know who might be one of the celebrity judges. We'll have that scoop coming up.
Introducing the all-new Alfa Romeo Giulia, a performance masterpiece. Race-inspired handling and lightning-fast response times take your drive to the next level. Find yours at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
When you want to get away from it all, to a place where you can do everything, or nothing at all, surrounded by natural beauty and all the modern amenities you might desire, then you'll want to be here at the Wanna Be Inn on the beautiful shores of Manasota Key, Florida. To plan your escape, log on to wannabeinn.com.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Drive into Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota and discover big savings during the Drive and Discover event. Come shop the Suncoast's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers, or stop by today and drive away in a 2017 Jeep Cherokee for just $18,999. And for a limited time, get America's best value, a new Dodge Journey for as little as $16,599. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
What Florida city is best known for spaceflight?
Cape Carnival.
Cape Carnival? Close enough. What condiment includes vinegar, molasses, and anchovies?
Westchester sauce?
Close enough. And now, a word from our sponsors.
One-off from the Florida Lottery. Now available for pick 2, 3, 4, and 5 games. Miss by one on any or all numbers and still win.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I'm creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, Contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Julia from Alfa Romeo. Appearance. Performance. Power. Find yours at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
All right, we told you last week that ABC is bringing back American Idol in 2018, and we now know who may be one of the judges. The Hollywood Reporter says Katy Perry is in talks to be a judge. But what is still up in the air is if Ryan Seacrest will be back in his hosting role. He recently became a co-host of Live with Kelly and Ryan right here on ABC. American Idol first ran on Fox for 15 seasons before being canceled.
I would guess he would be, since he now is in the ABC family, that he might be the host. And he goes back to LA on Fridays, it turns out, just does with Kelly 4 days a week. So if they tape on Fridays, American Idol
might be able to do it.
Well.
There you go.
Be a lot of frequent flyer miles.
I know it.
Katy Perry, that would be a real plus.
I like her. I like her.
Yeah, she's fun to watch.
Yeah.
We'll update the local news, the Northport fire situation. It's under control now, of course. Also, John's weather and traffic in 3 minutes. Stay with us.